Rahman is going to be the next Prime Minister of Bangladesh. Rahman's Bangladesh Nationalist Party swept polls, winning comfortable majority in the parliament. This was the first election since the 2024 uprising that toppled Sheikh Hasina. But Rahman took charge at a difficult time for India-Bangladesh ties.
7 states of India, eastern part of India, called Seven Sisters, they are landlocked country, landlocked region of India. They have no way to reach out to the ocean. We are the only guardian of the ocean for all this region. So this opens up a huge possibility. So this could be an extension of the Chinese economy, build things, produce things, market things, bring things to China, bring it out to the whole rest of the world.
Interim head of the country, Mohammad Yunus made sure all that could go wrong with Bangladesh's larger neighbor did go wrong. So how does Rahman see the equation?
We have cleared ourselves regarding the foreign policy, which is the interest of Bangladesh and the interest of Bangladeshi people comes first. By protecting the interest of Bangladesh and the people of Bangladesh, we will decide our foreign policy.
This answer frames a tense relationship blown to pieces by the incumbent Mohammad Yunus and his unelected regime. These are the Jamaat cadres baying for India's blood, a force unleashed by Yunus in his days at the helm in Dhaka.
So for 18 months in Bangladesh, the Jamaat-e-Islami has been the de facto ruler of the country. They have been the power behind the throne, the power behind Mohammad Yunus, who was the chief advisor of the interim regime. And they have taken all the big decisions in the country. Mohammad Yunus has just been following and implementing their decision. So, if I may explain 1 or 2 or 3 decisions, as you know, for the last 18 months, there's been a complete mobocracy, complete anarchy. So, the mob would come, surround anybody whom they didn't like, force the person to resign, and in their place, the Jamaat-e-Islami would appoint their choice.
The fact that pro-Pakistan Jamaat wants Sharia in Bangladesh and terror in India.
I believe the kind of constituency he has within his country and the kind of support base he has acquired outside his country, this will be a very natural course of action that he will drift more towards China and Pakistan. So all in all, I would believe that it will be very difficult for Tarique Rahman-led government to be as collaborative, as helpful as Hasina regime has been towards India.
Would infiltration become next big headache?
Here is an uncomfortable truth. All this progress stands on fragile ground if instability returns next door. When we talk about Tarique Rahman's political relevance rises in Bangladesh, people in all over India debate democracy. In Assam, we remember the history that we have faced. During the BNP regime in the early 2000s, the period linked to Tarique Rahman's political rise, insurgent groups from the northeast found shelter across the border. Camps operated, arms were moved, networks survived because political space allowed them to survive. We paid the price: bomb blasts, extortion, fear, and economic stagnation. Now imagine if Bangladeshis political churn and hardline or radical elements regain influence. Infiltration will not be the abstract. It could mean renewed illegal migration pressures, revival of sleeper networks. Now narcotics and armed routes, demographic stress in the border districts, which we keep on talking about, and ideological radicalization, which is so important to not neglect. So when we talk about Tarique Rahman, we are not indulging into the foreign politics. We are asking a security questions, which is very simple. Will Dhaka remain a cooperative partner against anti-India elements, or will repeat the history itself?
Security of the Northeast is a national security concern after Hasina fall, Yunus months, and now Rahman as the Prime Minister of Bangladesh.
Tarique Rahman is the BNP leader, and it's a democratic party, though it is not pro-India. They have had in the past reasonably decent relations with Pakistan. So they will have good relations with Pakistan and China. But that does not mean that they will not have relations with India. As a democratic entity, BNP has to be cognizant of the feelings of the people of Bangladesh, and to that extent, relationship with India would also improve somewhat from the level it is today, and significantly, it will be significantly better than the interim administration or the feasibility of Jamaat coming to power. So to that extent, it will be there. But yes, they will continue to have, I think, reasonable relations with Pakistan, as we saw during the earlier regime of Khaleda Zia.
Look at this map. India's borders have same Jamaat winning, creating a situation to handle. Would Rahman be able to handle all this to the satisfaction of India?
In the few days that have passed since the election, in the last 2-3 days, we have seen that Prime Minister Tarique Rahman has shown great maturity. Great maturity. You know, for example, one or two things that I can tell you that he did, three things I will say that he did in the first few days. First of all, he said no celebrations, because in the past, in 2001, when BNP and Jamaat-e-Islami won the election, you know, there were celebrations all over, and that became hooliganism. There were a lot of attacks on minorities, saying, you didn't vote for us, we'll kill you. And all this was very upsetting for the neighborhood. But this time, he's been very mature. He said no celebrations, completely calm. We will work. We will not do any kind of hooliganism, number one. Number two, as of yesterday, yesterday I think, one of his members of the BNP even went and broke the lock on the Awami League office, because the previous regime, the Mohammed Yunus regime, had put a lock on the Awami League office to symbolize that they are banned, they cannot come here, they cannot work in Bangladesh. And now that lock has been broken. It's a symbolic act to show that the BNP is welcoming back the Awami League in the fold. And this has been really very well welcomed, because it is showing that he's going to have no kind of rancor or irritation against the Awami League. He's going to say quite clearly that everybody is welcome, and Bangladesh and the government of Bangladesh stands for everybody.
He would restrain them only to a certain extent, because I have written in my blog yesterday that BNP has been peddling softer version of Islamism, whereas Jamaat-e-Islami has been peddling very hardcore version of Islamism. As long as Awami League was a political force and it was contesting elections, it was competing with BNP, both Jamaat and BNP, they worked together, peddling different versions of Islam. So Tarique Rahman's government is likely to peddle a softer version of Islamism. And when it is softer version of Islamism, you have to keep it in mind that Tarique's father himself was a military officer, and still Cantonment Bangladeshi army and sections of elite, they perceive their nationalist identity in somewhat adversarial terms with India. And that is where there is a cause for worry. He would restrain Jamaat only to a certain extent, but wherever required, he would like to use Jamaat politically. But yes, there will be some degree of competition with Jamaat, and things will not be as what these have been.
There are other demons too. Rahman inherits an economy strained by inflation and political instability. With voices like this analyst believing Rahman might not be up to the task.
this is a very crucial point that just Tarique Rahman come and just what the past, how to deal with the communication with the politics and everything. So this is a very new happening for the Bangladesh new chapter. Want to see for the Bangladeshi people who are just waiting to see for the how he can do. He's a better and he's a very pioneer thinking, and you know that also he is in a very crucial time. He can pass away from the London, especially in 15 or 16 years. So this is his comeback in the London, and this is a very new hope and new comeback. Actually, is very striking comeback for his political career, and no doubt is very insightful, and also his career is very much enlightenful instead of this happening.
Hasina's future prosecution and extradition from India would be a big test of Rahman's stance.
We have received the request, and this request is being examined as part of ongoing judicial and internal legal processes. We remain committed to the best interests of the people of Bangladesh, including peace, democracy, inclusion, and stability in that country, and will continue to engage constructively in this regard with all stakeholders.
So while Hasina's fate hangs in balance, India's national security concerns are for real.
I do not wish to spoil anything or say anything negative at this point of time, because Tarique Rahman has made some nice gestures, but lot of areas of concern persist. And there's a serious worry that Bangladesh will not go in Pakistan's way, but Bangladeshi state structure or Bangladeshi policy establishments would like to be more assertive, and they may cede their territory or allow their territory to be used for anti-India purposes. They may act in a very hostile manner, given the kind of support base Tarique Rahman enjoys, given the kind of people who have surrounded Tarique Rahman. So India has to literally stretch its imagination, its capacities in the realm of statecraft, geopolitics and security to tackle Bangladesh, because I'm very clear that as long as Islamic radicalism persists in this part of the world, as long as it gets traction anywhere, it will negatively impact our security and economic development both.
As Speaker Om Birla and Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri represent India at Rahman's oath-taking ceremony, New Delhi watches with an open mind to close the past.